want to welcome everyone here. We know we all have a busy schedule, and I really appreciate the fact that we could take the time out of our busy schedule to be here this afternoon. We are all here for one thing, and I know it is because of football. One way or the other, we love the sport, and we are very desirous of giving back. So that is primarily the main focus while we're here this afternoon. Just want to welcome everyone one more time. Thank you very much for being a part of this occasion. It has not happened in the park for some time, but we are happy that we're able to make this possible this time around through all our sponsors and affiliates here in the park. Alright, so without further ado, I'm going to introduce to you the chairperson for this afternoon, who will also give you the opening prayer, and is going to take it from here. Welcome, Mr. Michael Mosley.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, on this momentous occasion. Give yourself a round of applause. We invite the presence of the Most High. Moment of silence, please. Heavenly Father, thank you for bringing us all here safely. Heavenly Father, as we open a new page, Trelawny football, Lord, we ask that everything we do be done to your will. Father, thank you for the sponsors and our co-sponsors. Heavenly Father, the teams and the players and the executive. Well, we are going to ask.
Praise the I want to, Mr. President of the Football Association, Mr. Simpson, Mr. Dr. Neil Davis, and Adjutant Secretary Jeremiah. I'm bringing greetings, I guess, from many perspectives, because as I've heard, I'm principal of William Mill. I have been Dr. Sport Chairman for the last deepest of the youth level, as many of you recognize. And one of the things that I had a little concern with when I came to William Mill was the level of football being played in the parish. And so one of the first things I want to say is in the sense that I noticed that a parish in which people figured that there could be sponsors. I'm looking at the board and I'm happy about what I'm seeing. Partnerships to make it work. And it seems to me that one of the things that the body has done here is that they have gone ahead to ensure that the groundwork of partnerships is to encourage the body, because I have worked closely with Mr. Simpson, with Mr. Jeremiah, and one of the other things is that I know that they are competent hands. And so I want to greet you with confidence, because I know that there's competence that's in charge. And all that I think these gentlemen and this body needs from Trelawny is support. Support from every single group of persons. Support from the schools in terms of recruitment, support from the people in charge of the politics in terms of ensuring that the influence is used in the best interest of football, and that's the first thing. Support from the businesses. And so all I say is that from both William's perspective, from Mrs. perspective, I am truly happy about this. And on behalf of everyone that I represent, every single group, I wish you all the best, because I know it is something that will work out. Thank you very much.
Oh, thank you. Great things as Minister of Tourism. And when I heard he was coming to the parish, Brother Jeremiah said, he'll get us back into the state. Let me give him a call. So without further ado, I'll ask one of our key sponsors to bring us some greetings.
Yes, it seems like the appropriate mic. So Simpson, President, General Secretary, members of the executive of the Football Association here in Trelawny, Principal Mr. Wright, sponsors, and my good friend and colleague, Fabian Davis. Let me just start by saying that, interestingly, the first meeting I had with the Football Association here was because of Fabo. Councillor Davis one day called and told me last year that the Duncan's Complex's business would be sponsoring the Major League, and he wanted me to come with him to the meeting. And we went to the meeting, and while sitting at the meeting and having the conversation, an interesting thing came up. We had a discussion, and I asked where was the finance going to be held. And they said, we're going to be held at the week, and I think it was. And I asked, why was it not being held at the stadium, Trelawny Stadium? And they said, well, they never held a finals at the stadium. And I couldn't believe that, because an important part of building the stadium was not just as a national venue, but something that would be used to develop sports within the parish, to allow a person to showcase their abilities on the big stage. We had a discussion, and I called some members of the board of Independence Park and Institute of Sports and Major and others, and indicated that this was something that would be beneficial to everybody. And I want to really start today by commending the executive of the Football Association, because let me tell you, we had that conversation like about 3 o'clock today, and the board, and when we had said it was Independence Park, yes, we indicated to them, they said, but we need a letter. I think by 8 o'clock, and one thing led to the other. And I'm really pleased and proud that out of that, the operators of the Trelawny multipurpose got back to us and said that we would be allowed to host the finals there. And so last year, we were very proud for the first time to host the finals of the Major League, Trelawny Major League, in the Trelawny Stadium. And I think that's a tremendous. But then again, if you open one door, another door opens, and while we were there having that conversation, we indicated the Trelawny Stadium, which I was a part of that development when it was happening, was built with offices, so that we could allow for the different organizations that manage sports, whether it is cricket, football, all of them, to have offices there. And the conversation started again, and you had letters written, and at the end of the day, the office of the Trelawny Football Association is now housed at the multipurpose here, should be affiliated, because it is something, one of the most important things we must do is ensure the development of sport in the parish of Trelawny. So I really want to start by commending the Football Association, because they moved with such speed, and now a year later, we're back. And this is something that's a very big positive for us. I also want to thank Councillor Davis. He not only took me to the first meeting which allowed this chain of events to take place, but has been a very strong supporter of this event and has shown this commitment. And I really want to say that he has done a good job, and again, to be associated with him is a very, very good person. I think he deserves all commendation for his strong support. I just want to say something. I've always been associated with sports. I've been on the board of a number of sporting association, boxing, a number of them. I chaired the Sports Development Foundation. I was the founding chairman of the association, the foundation, and all along, even from the Ministry of Tourism and Sports, being involved in it. And I believe that we have to give our children, our young persons, this opportunity. Because for many youths, it only through education, some through entrepreneurship. But you can just look at the Usain Bolts or great boxers and all the others who have those opportunities. If we give them that opportunity, they can develop it and take it to another level. So today I want to congratulate all who are involved. I know we're going to have a very successful, very exciting Major League. It's a big tournament in football here in the year, and I wish them all the best. And hoping all goes well. I'm hoping next year we can actually build on this sponsorship, carry it to another level, because we really want to carry the development of football and all the sports to another level here in Trelawny. Thank you all, and I wish you all the best for this competition.
Thank you, sir, Matt. I mean, we were just working on the report to send you the invoices for the stadium lights. So, you know, when we're hosting the season finale and we have got the stadium, and you know, we said, okay, we had a good season last year, but we want to top it now. And Councillor, Sir Davis.
Good afternoon. First, I should acknowledge it's a pleasure for me to be one of the main sponsors for this league for this year once again. I am all about optimization and any incremental growth for the parish. I will always be there to improve on sports and anything that will be an upliftment for the youths. When I got the call this year again, and I got that estimate, and I looked at it and I said, whoa, we're going to find $2.3 million right now. But at the end of the day, I always put things in place where I can impose anything at all within the parish of Trelawny, my division. And I made some calls. I called Dr. William McNeil, told him that we're going to need this cash. And it's not an if, but or maybe. This is something that has to happen for the parish, because it cannot be left like how it used to be before. And if we're going to build our youths, we started something, so we have to complete it. And I am here today just to tell you that I support this thing 100%, and I will be there for you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sir Davis. You know, recently the stadium, the Trelawny Executive held a coaching course there. And we invited some small, some youth kids to run the coaching apparatus through. And it was lunchtime. And instead of asking for Kentucky Fried Chicken, instead they wanted Falmouth chicken instead.
Well, Mr. Davis,
He's the coach. He's the coach of William Nib, the Costa Club team. So he's charged with bringing us a D cup here in Trelawny. So every time you see him, I want to ask him where he did. Sir, right?
I asked him about it.
Yeah. So without further ado, we'll ask.
a good question.
Yes, we'll ask brother to hear from Brother Jeremiah about the direction Trelawny.
Club executives here as well, the Trelawny executive. I think it's important, but it's always important not to think that in order to get what you want in terms of developing sports, you have to have the support from sponsors. And when about 2 seasons ago, Trelawny really had no sponsor, put it that way, absolutely none. And even last season when we started out, we decided to start the competition even though we did not have sponsors. We went in hope and faith. And we saw Mr. Jobson just gave his greetings, his words to us. He was one of the first to decide that he's on board. The president himself, Desmond Simpson, with his company, led the way. And since then, as you see here, the rest they say is history. But for you to be a part of this association, I just want to take you a little bit down the road where we're at now and how we want to look in the future. Trelawny football has shaped and continue to shape football in this parish and Jamaica. And the existence of this organization goes well beyond my years. In fact, when I look at the records, it says 1968, 1969 was when the association was formed. And I even looked the other day on the bank account that we currently use was opened in 1976. So it's been long before our time. But one of the things I always say is that we have gone 57 years and would have raised our bat using the connotation from another sport. But what we have to do is to ensure that the next half century, to get to that century, is much better than the first. So if the first 50 was a Jimmy Adams type, when we were in football, when I'm using these, then the second 50 should be more like a Brandon, which is flashy and very entertaining, which is where we're looking to be. The TFA has a rich history of being one of the most organized parish associations in Jamaica, having many of its executive members serve at the national level with the JFF. Our past president, Lynette McLean, was a vice president, most respected female administrator in Jamaica, and served on the JFF Women Football Committee, and traveled many a times as HODs with teams. Our current president, Mr. Desmond Simpson, even in his short journey in this football, has served as HOD with many and various national teams. I myself was appointed to the JFF Committee for National Youth Development. So as a parish, we have led the way for a long time in terms of being very good administrators, and the onus is upon us. It is not always enough to just maintain what you got, but always one should leave something better than what you got. There's a saying in life, the best use of your time in life is to do something with it that will outlast your own lifetime. And I think today marks a step in that direction. And so we must ensure that things get better. When you look at the achievements, I just spoke about no sponsors. When I count the sponsors, we are at about 15. And the beautiful thing about it is that we have spread out beyond the borders of Trelawny. A lot of the sponsors on the board are from Trelawny. But we do have Advantage Auto, which is out of Montego Bay, Clinic Care from out of Montego Bay. In fact, our apparel sponsor, which is Express Soccer, is out of Kingston, which means for Trelawny, that to me is a big feather, our feathers in our cap, because we are able to attract business entities beyond our borders. There's a team in Jamaica that I think is a team that attracts or has more supporters than any other team beyond its boundaries. And that's Arnold Gardens. And that was largely because of the way they played and how they attract fans. We want to be the best parish association in Jamaica, bar none, Cassava or whatever, bar none. And that is how we have dreamt. And I'm not afraid to dream because it costs us nothing. It's about making it a reality. And what about reality or achievements? You're not putting your money into a sport or an organization that has not delivered already and will continue to deliver. National representative, because you have footballers, we watch them on our TV, but it's been a long time now. But we have produced. Take Cooper Swing, for example. We're in that community now and they have a team. They've produced Michael Stoney, goalkeeper for the Reggae Boys. Moses Allen was once the under-23 captain for Jamaica, went to Brazil. Kevin Nolan and Jeffrey Johnson were under 15 players. Allen United, a club which I coached and own, had produced Kevin Clark, McCoy Nish at under 15, Lance Lane, who also represented Kinlass, was an under 17 and a Reggae boy. Dean Clark and Michael Clark, that man in Falmouth that sells jerk chicken, he was on Jamaica's first ever under 13 team. Dean Clark, his brother from Holland as well, made the under 17 World Cup team that went to Mexico. Krista J. Daly, our own from William Mill, played in the under 17 and under 23. And the likes of Harmony, Troy Smith, Shane Crawford are but a few that we have produced. And I think Mr. Wright spoke about being happy to know that the under 13 competition is coming on. We are currently in talks with a sponsor who is very interested in doing the under 13, which will run through the primary schools. We are seeking sponsors for the under 17. But I'm saying to you that we have, as a parish, produced a lot at the national level. Even Premier League teams, Village United, Cooper Spen was once in the Premier League, Baka Stars, which is now morphed into Falmouth United, was once in the Premier League, and Invaders were also in the Premier League. So as a parish association, we have produced well, but that and those are in the past. What we're saying, we have to build on it, not to maintain. And that is what this association is about. And we can't do it without your support, the sponsors, the clubs. One of the things that we want to do going forward is to make, as I said, the parish the best, but not only that. Help the clubs to be more financially stable through proper structure and getting the most out of our sports or entertainment that we constantly give away. You know that football is an entertainment. And we have given it away by just playing it and people turn up and just watch it for free. So maybe if we can bring clubs to centralized venues and collect and share the purse, it makes them more financially stable. Having structures and partners that will also provide opportunities for players to make the transition to either go pro, like Krista J. Daly has, or to make the national team. Once we can provide those avenues, they have a saying, where opportunities exist, hope springs eternal. And that's what we also want to do, bring opportunities to Trelawny. So it's important for us to understand that the Trelawny Football Association, as it is now, we got an association that had good structure, good base, but there was a lot more to be done and a lot more that we are here willing to do. As such, I am happy by what I've seen here and happy that football is in good hands, not because I'm a part of it, but because of all of us who are in this room here. That gives me hope that Trelawny will rise not to where it once was, but to the pinnacle of football in Jamaica. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Brother Jensen. You know, one of the most important resources we have is our people. You know, we have a great exec. We even have so much that they made him head of delegation. And he has kept the peace. We have tumultuous meetings because we're talking about football.
And I will continue to stress that the reason is for football. You know, a lot of persons sometimes want to deviate from the core thing or the core purpose of why we're here. As the name says, Trelawny Football Association. So it doesn't really matter what political affiliation you have, what part of the parish or the country you're from. Once it is for the development of football within the parish, that is what I stand for. So regardless of how the assistance or the help is going to come, as a president, I am willing to accept it. And as such, I spoke about the partnership that we have merged with these sponsors. And by ourselves, it will be next to impossible. So with our valued sponsors and partners, we are happy to have you on board to help us to bring football to where we want to see it reach. I can recall when I was appointed or elected president of the Trelawny Football Association, I was only invited to a random meeting at the Fan of Audit School. And while I was sitting there, the then President Brown, who would have migrated and just came back just to happen. I would no longer live in Jamaica, and you are the only person I think can take control of football and turn it into something better than what it is. Ladies and gentlemen, let me be honest, at that point, I accepted. But if I knew no, what I knew now, if I knew then probably I would have objected. Yes. Yeah. It's like you're giving a vehicle on its belly, no wheels. And you're given a task to get wheels first and foremost. Try to get wheels onto this vehicle before you can have it moving. But I'm happy that I can say, we have now gotten 4 wheels, we have not gotten spirits, but we're in motion. And the only reason that we're in motion, I can say, it is primarily because of all our valued sponsors and partners. I don't think I want to call them sponsors anymore because we're trying to make them a partner to us. So instead of saying we are sponsors, I would say that we look at them as partners with the Trelawny Football Association. It is not easy, and we are just happy that they are willing to come on board to be a part of us. So first and foremost, I want to say a big thank you again to Downtown Complex Entertainment, conjunction with Jamaica McNeil in being our title sponsor this year. Gentlemen, thank you. Now we also look further than that, we also look into what we call title sponsor, Mr. Lord. Jensen spoke about trying to help clubs one way or the other. So for most part, you see that before a person just have a competition and clubs are responsible for providing everything for themselves. And we are happy to say that under our leadership, it is first that every team that participates in this year's competition will be given a full set of jersey compliments of our sponsors.
We just want to do at this point is just to show.
So on this slide show you'll see what Farmer Chicken, as you can see, one of our title sponsors. So I'll just take the time out to name our title sponsor. We have Farmer Chicken out of this. So we have Ecosense, Auto Sales, Limitless, Trelawny Football Association, and exactly why they choose or make the decision to partner with us. I can say something on behalf of. And for those who don't know, just to make it clear, she's my other half, right?
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
Good evening.
I come in education, and the reason is we all believe in youth empowerment. And I'm sure sure all the other associate sponsors in here share this sentiment. I became involved in football because of my alma mater, William Memorial High School, where I realized how it has changed the life of many young men. Football has changed the life of many young men there. And we are also involved in giving back to the DaCosta Cup program there. I've seen especially where the sport has kept them away from crime. Instead of kicking each other, they can channel their energies into kicking a ball. So on behalf of Simtour's Ultimate Travel and my fellow associate sponsors, we are delighted for this opportunity to partner with the Trelawny Football Association. And I sincerely hope that this partnership will only get better for the growth of football in the parish. I feel the structure and direction in which this administration is taking football. And I think with this partnership, it can only get better. So on behalf of everyone, I wish the TFA all the best in the competition coming up, and I thank you all.
Thank you very much, Mr. Simpson. That was from the associate sponsor. And we also want to hear from sponsors. Our affiliates are very important.
Just before
The Trelawny Football Association. So what we'll do, we'll ask our third VP to receive this check on behalf of the Trelawny Football Association.
So if we may, just to give you an idea of how 3 years. I also match balls
On our tax sponsor, Mr. Wickham McNeil, and tax sponsor, Mr. Wickham McNeil, and Mr. Bill and Davis to make their presentation to the Trelawny Football Association. So as a president, I received this. I received it.
So as you can see, it's the 2.8 million, and that is.
So ladies and gentlemen, we have now heard from the sponsors, and I think it's prudent enough to hear from one of our affiliates as to, their view on the TFA going forward. So I call on Mr. Andrew Williams.
I extend our sincere gratitude, generosity to our tight sponsors, and also their contribution of making it possible for all of us here today, reunited by the passion for football. As teams, we recognize that the value of our investment in this sport. Your sponsorship enables us to develop skills, build our team, create and court, get an experience for our major league this year. We promise to make you all proud. And we will play with passion, integrity, sportsmanship, and showcase the best that we can within the partnership club. Before we kick off this entire competition, we just want to say a big thank you to all.
Good job, but sometimes I see that I listen to people talk, and I think we're prudent enough. We have a person representing the referees for the parish, and I think we're just prudent enough for us just to ask him to come forward.
Yeah.
To just say a few words from the referees' standpoint, and
Remember, he's working on NCD for us.
very important to us, and we're also very important to them.
Good evening, everyone. I was caught by surprise. I don't plan anything. So I wish to thank the TFA and the sponsors for what I'm seeing here. Although there are things on the road, but I'm happy for what I'm seeing because this is the first in history, and I'm the referee from 2007. And it's the first I'm here. So when I saw the check,
comes early. If he comes late, if he's even a little traveling, you're going to get for thing. Sir Meadow, step up 1 second. So let's have a word from you. You sit there so nonchalant and easy.
Value of sports in social development. And I want to commend the sponsors, title and associate sponsors alike, for their commitment to this endeavor. Somebody spoke earlier today, I think it was Ms. Simpson, to the value of sports in terms of treating with the mild behavior for their social development. That said, I want to commend Desmond. I've seen the leadership you have demonstrated thus far on your board. In fact, I'm in Trelawny from 2006. When I came to Trelawny, I couldn't even spell Trelawny. I couldn't even say I have a girl from Trelawny. I know nothing about it.
You know, it was always a dream to be here. You know, first we heard it was a white elephant, and why is that stadium there in Trelawny? And we used to drive.
Okay, yes. Once again, tomorrow. So tomorrow, this weekend, right, Sunday, we have the only 2 games of the season. So that will be played at the Trelawny Multipurpose Stadium. The first game is at 1:15, and that will see Harmony up against Saltmarsh, we just saw. And then we have Holland United up against Duanville. So it's a double header on Sunday. And the game will be streamed live, but there's nothing like being in the stadium in the atmosphere. If you were at the finals, you'd want to be here again. And I must tell you that not only the look and the feel of these games that are streamed this year is going to be so different. I know a lot of you will see here on your television when you're watching a live game and you see all the billboards around the field. All that setting is also going to be in place as well. So a part of our associate sponsor, we have a printing company with all the banners to go around the field, or billboards around the field. So tomorrow, on Sunday, he's saying tomorrow, I can't wait for it to happen apparently. It's $1,000 for entry. You get 2 games seated in our mecca of sports in Trelawny, and the way it goes tomorrow, you're getting a deal because we're not separating grandstand and bleachers. If you have $1,000, you come in. And nobody knows, like the principal from William, who sat in the grandstand one day and said, when the stress of the school takes you, you just probably come up here and relax. I don't even see anything. Sportsmax, when they came there to do the first ever live game from the multipurpose stadium, said with all the venues they've gone to in the Caribbean, this was the most picturesque of them all, because they've gone to venues close to the sea, but too close, they can't really get that view. So you can imagine, some days you're at the office doing work and 2 ships in the harbor, and you're sitting out on the back and just enjoying the view. I think on Sunday you'll get that, and 4 good teams on show. So we want you to come out and support the football on Sunday, because that's the kickstart of the season. And then the following week, all 10 teams will be in action. So the football will be played in 10 different communities across Trelawny. So it's an explosion.
Some guest person to come and give it over to her. You know, it's all.
First Vice President, second Vice President, Mr. Wilson, third Vice President, Mr. Harold Smith. And I turn it on. It's good when we have legal minds around. A very able and competent person to work alongside Mr. Dwight Jeremiah. We have McLean from South all the way to the back. And our well-able admin assistant, Malawi, Palmer, everybody from Malawi, Palmer. Ms. Lowe, can you make your way front for me, please? Now, ladies and gentlemen, So, Celine, on behalf of the Trelawny Football Association, I just want to say a big thank you for giving us this opportunity. We would love to come, but we're very happy that you said this. So, partnership with Rio.
stress with all our paperwork. You know, he too offers discounts also. I mean, he might not say it, but you can lean on it.
Benefit and the season will be. I am also happy to see the principal of William in here, because one of the things that I want, even though I went to St. Jago, is I want to see William Nim playing against St. Jago in the Olympic. Yes, that will be fine. As long as the both teams are in the final, I'll be happy. I'll be happy. My job here today is to give a vote of thanks to all our sponsors. Without our sponsorship, without your sponsorship, we would not. To all the sponsors, all your contributions in terms of banners, in terms of logistics, whatever it is that you've contributed, we are eternally grateful. And we have committed. We have spoken to our players, we have spoken to our clubs, and we are committed to making this competition a good one.
We can ask some rough questions. I'm glad that we have our affiliates here. Jacksontown, I noticed that you have Falmouth Chicken as your sponsor. We're Invaders will have chicken over in Bunkers Hill, so we can switch sponsors. We'll talk about that afterwards. Right? But we're going to open up a question and answer annual period where you can, especially for people of the press, you can ask our stakeholders any questions, pertinent questions. So go ahead, personnel, ask sponsors and co-sponsors.
Groundsman there, as TFA, because our relationship at the stadium helped to maintain and develop the stadium while we're host there. So their groundsman has been doing a very good job, because Falmouth United and Duncan's plays there. Outside of these 2 points, are just there trying to hold it. Just be there as a tenant. We're trying to improve it.
That person is not major.
No, it's not major. No. Anybody else with questions? In media house with questions? Yeah.
Our side from Jamaica Observer. Came in late, so I don't know what teams in competition.
Okay.
How long will it last? And what is the main prize at the end of the competition?
Prize money from first visibility.
And one of the things that we've been talking about at TFA is how to improve the playing fields here in Jamaica. Right? We are aware of the fact that great practice field makes greater players. And sir, from the Observer, it's a very good question about, because what we are cognizant of the fact of that in this sporting. So, the great Captain Burrell.
Come, a lot more to see, fans, and all those who watch us on live stream. I just want to thank everyone